Welcome back to the Teacher's AI Cafe. I'm Kane, a teacher and a parent who wants AI to give us back our time. I share practical classroom-tested AI strategies to cut down your workload, improve your feedback and reduce stress so you can get your evenings back and be more present with your friends and family. No jargon, just actionable steps. Grab your mug. Now let's get going. Welcome back to this week's AI update for educators. It is the 15th of June. So there actually has been some exciting news in the last week. The biggest AI story since last week is not Apple, Google, or even AI itself. And we'll get back to SpaceX in a little bit. Anthropic's Fable 5 story is more important for education because it shows where AI may be heading next. It's very powerful, agentic, capable, and also more political sensitive. Now, I had to play with it over the weekend, and it can do some pretty cool stuff. I was using it to do some actually coding with it, and I built an app very quickly, and it was very powerful. The graphics, a massive step up from where we got previously. So I do recommend it doing it. But then the exciting news happened. The Trump administration put an export ban on it, and we all lost access to it. And I guess Anthropic couldn't work out who was international, who was local. Foreigners, they've banned it for everyone for the moment. So we got to use it, and I woke up Sunday morning and I couldn't access it anymore, which is a bit sad, really. National concerns, who knows what may come out of this. They think it's a bit of a misunderstanding. So this is the Mythos model, the one they couldn't release many months ago because it was way too dangerous. Then they released it to a lot of different corporations. They could use it to test their cybersecurity because it's apparently very good at finding holes in security. And now, last week, they released it to the general public. I don't think it's exactly the same version that what was talked about earlier. I think it's been crimped a little bit from that. But like I said, I don't know. But looking at the stats, it is very capable of what it's doing. And where the improvements are is basically it can do that repetitious problem solving to actually get a really good answer out of it. So anyway, we'll see what happens about that. So it does become available again. I certainly do check it out. For what I've seen, I didn't get to try to make educational resources, but what I did try to do, it was actually very good. Second big story last week, Apple had its annual WWDC conference, which is for its developers. And it's finally announced its Apple Intelligence, this big upgrade to Siri, alongside of its broader intelligence tools. Apple Intelligence tools, that is. Lots of new child safety features, which is not really part of the educational sphere there. But we see Apple is pushing AI directly with its new devices, so people with the Apple ecosystem the students will have access to this, as well as the teachers that use it as well. I guess in terms of these classroom management, the old question was, did you use ChatGPT for this? The question is, what counts as AI assistance when the device itself is helping with writing, summarizing, editing, and planning, and as well as doing all the searching. So once again, it's a totally evolving one. I've got a really good talk on Wednesday if you want to have a listen to that about what we've learned so far about AI with my teacher interviews. Third story is Google AI's got some updates around Gemini, some new models, personal assistants, and so on. Google Live Translates is a good addition. But like I said, this is all paled in comparison to what Anthropic has done with Claude. Some other different stories is Canada have introduced legislation aimed at banning social media access for kids under 16. As I said, Australia will do it first once we've done proof of concept. Lots of people doing it now. Well, I think it's actually a very good thing. Obviously ways around it, but obviously it can be done. What else is happening out there? Obviously we've got the massive SpaceX floating on the stock market. And an important part of that in terms of the AI model is Grok is actually part of that. So we'll see what happens in terms of accountability and things like that. With a SpaceX, it was up on its opening day. Let's see what happens in the long run for that, because at this stage, I don't think it actually makes any money. It actually lose billions and billions of dollars a year, but who knows? We'll find out when they do their first public reporting of income. So the last point is, I guess for careers education, students are not just entering a world where they ask AI for answers. We're getting to the point where they're entering a world where workers will need to learn to manage AI agents far more than what it was considered in the early days, where prompts was doing it for. Now you've got automated agents doing it for you. Anyway, that's the update for this week. As I said, if you get access to it, go check out Fable 5, the Mythos model, and I'll talk to you on Wednesday.